This is the Stark Varg. I've finally been able to get my hands on one of these, and you're gonna want to watch this video because I actually just rode a 250F, a 350. I actually just rode a 250F, a 300 SX two-stroke, the motocross, supercross version of the 300 EXC, and a 250 two-stroke. And so I'm going back to back off of those bikes just 2 days ago to riding the Stark Varg for the very first time ever. Now I'm super stoked for this video because this is something that I've been wanting to get my hands on. I think a lot of people have, and I think I'm gonna have a unique perspective on this bike just from what I just mentioned, which is mainly the fact that I've just ridden a lot of bikes over the last year and a half to 2 years. So we're gonna see how this compares today to a 450, a 250 4-stroke, 250 2-stroke, 300 2-stroke, and even more. So let's get right into this. And I even want to show you guys today kind of what it looks like to start the bike. I haven't seen a lot of videos on how to, literally get on the bike, and I already tipped it over, look at the mud, but how to get on the bike, how to start it up. And so we're literally gonna get right into this. So from what I'm told, we press and hold this button, this turns on, and I think the phone may still be on. Yeah, the phone is still on. If the phone's not on, this is literally a cell phone, you guys. Like, this is legitimately a cell phone. Like, it is an Android usable SIM card compatible cell phone. And so we've got that. I think this thing is turning on, it's flashing. I think you press it again. At least he said you did. Let's see what we got going on here. We're gonna go home. Shows that it's on. Okay. Varg is now on standby. Now it's on. So it's flashing green. Okay, so what I actually had to do was just press down to get it in this first power map mode. And I believe this is like 20 horse. So we're gonna go. Oh, what a weird experience. I'm telling you, this is already so weird. I want to say this first mode they have set to a pretty low horsepower. Now it looks like these bars may have been twisted a little bit when I dropped it. Yeah, that's better. It was looking pretty diagonal there. So we're in map 1 here. all right, that's pretty cool. First impressions cool. I'm gonna try to keep this thing out of the mud for Terry. Massive shout out to Hanson Motorsports for letting me demo this bike before I potentially buy one. Now, one thing really quickly I want to mention is that this thing feels really heavy when you're loading it in the truck. That was just my first impression of the bike. Crazy. Oh, that's just so wild. And to be honest with you, like, it actually reminds me of like an RC car or something, We're gonna go to map 2. Oh, all right, and that's only like, that's about as much horsepower as like, I think number 2, we had this on 30 horsepower. So really not much, guys. Like, this is still not a lot of horsepower. All right, the bike feels lighter when I'm riding it. Unreal. That is truly unlike anything I've ever felt. If you've ever ridden in a Tesla, a car, it's very similar. Obviously, it's electric. That feels extremely similar to what a Tesla would feel like. It's just smooth, you guys. There's no bogging, there's nothing. It's just smooth. It's extremely responsive and smooth. So we're gonna take this thing up to the hills. Hopefully it's not too muddy out here. And we're recording also, so we're gonna kind of get an idea of kind of how long we're able to ride this thing. It shows already we've been on it for 2 minutes. We're gonna try to get like an hour out of this thing. I really, really hope there's some places that aren't as muddy. We're gonna go up this. Okay. Oh my gosh, dude. That is freaking fun. Unreal. Okay. The bike just feels so incredibly planted to the ground. Like, that's the only way I can describe it, is at the higher speeds, the weight actually makes the bike feel like it's quite literally glued to the ground. Little stoppy. We're gonna try to take this down into some more technical terrain here. Insane. Oh man, dude. Okay, we're gonna look at something here. This is let's go with modes. So we are on mode 2, guys. We are currently on 30 horsepower. So this is about like riding an old 250F. I actually swear to God, I'm actually scared to go any higher than this. I don't know that we need to. We're gonna try it for you guys, of course. But okay, 4 is 60. That's about like a 450. Okay, so next thing, guys, this thing feels like, it feels weight-wise and handling-wise more like a 450 to me than really any other bike. And excuse me, I'm panting like a freaking hog here. I actually don't know how to get back to where we can just ride the damn thing. Let's see. Hero dirt today, and that's a nice looking trail there. That's pretty gnarly, but we're gonna go up this. I'm gonna try to keep this thing out of the mud. Oh, that's pretty sticky actually. All right, first little tiny technical hill climb here. This is insane. Like, what I just did right there, I don't think you guys realize that would have taken minimum a 300 two-stroke to be able to lug that low. And even then, the throttle feathering and everything, like, this bike, I'm already noticing too, it's not gonna wear me out nearly as fast as riding a gas bike. It's just not going to. This thing feels extremely planted and extremely usable power, and you can really feather the throttle. We're gonna turn this up to mode 4. Oh my gosh. Okay, mode 4 is an animal. Holy crap, dude, that's insane. And this is 40 horsepower supposedly. Dude, I just don't think anyone ever did any more than this. That's crazy. Unreal. Now we're getting into some mud. Sorry, Terry. Okay. So the bike, I don't actually like that. I mean, that's crazy. That number 4 right there, I think it's 40 horse. Dude, that feels like way more than 40 horse. And it's because it's instantaneous. The power is like literally right there. Now, one other thing I want to say, because this is something I was wondering before I rode this bike. Does this bike feel out of control or kind of scary? And I would say no, especially on more of the 250F type, you know, 252 stroke 250F type horsepower numbers, like 30 to 40 horsepower. 45 horsepower you could do would be nice. But this, you know, 40 horse, I can already kind of feel what it's going to feel like at like 80 horse. And that scares me. So to be very transparent with you, no, it doesn't scare me. but I know it's going to at the higher horsepower numbers. And here we're gonna test the rutted theory. Okay, that's the most insane thing I've ever felt. Like, I'm literally stalled on this bike already. Now, I feel like I've been riding like a considerable amount. I've been on the bike for 27 minutes. And for those of you that are kind of wondering about the battery, the battery and everything, if you're doing the type of riding I'm doing, where you're just kind of putzing and, you're just kind of doing your thing, you're not necessarily racing full stop every time you're on the bike. And you're gonna love this bike, because I feel like I've ridden a lot and I still have a considerable amount of time left on the bike. But we got two things left to do. Number one, we got to try the 80 horsepower mode, which is right here, and we're gonna try it right now. Oh my god! Whoa! I mean, I gave it all for you guys right there. Holy crap, dude! That's just like, no one needs that. Like, I genuinely, no one on this planet Earth needs that much power from a Stark or from a dirt bike. No one needs that. That's actually borderline dangerous, to be honest with you, because you could really loop out. I'm finding that the bike is really nice right at 3, which is about 30 horsepower with 30% regenerative braking. We're gonna do a little bit of flat tracking now, and we're just gonna see how this thing does, okay? The confidence, just the confidence that this bike gives me, man. I can't describe it. I literally feel like I'm on rails on this bike. And it's crazy that I can talk to you guys while I'm doing it. That's what it is. I mean, it just allows for so much more mental focus and clarity. It allows you to focus on your form, on the bike, as opposed to focusing on other things or losing track. Or it actually, I could see for racing this, it would reduce the intensity load that your nervous system feels, so you're able to focus more on what the bike is doing. And well, that was truly an experience, just riding this thing on a flat style track with just corners. This bike, I would wager to bet that I am around this little loop right here 5 to 8 seconds faster on this bike than I would be on a 450 or 250. I'm dead serious. It just has, and that's just for me, it has that nature about it. Like, I just love the bike. I'm gonna buy one. We gotta try 180 horsepower. Oh, look at that. You guys, I don't think you realize 80 horsepower on a dirt bike is fucking nuts. Like, that's insane. Unreal. Like, it could get away from you so fast. I'm scared of it. Like, I'm genuinely scared of it. Dude, I'm officially in love with riding dirt bikes again. Oh! You guys, I have not been in love with riding motocross this much for a long time, and I've got the blister to prove it. All right, guys, if you're on the fence about buying a Stark Varg, go buy one, because here's why. Number one, the bike feels heavy, but it's actually an advantage. That's the first time I thought I would ever say that about any bike ever. Number two, the power literally makes you a superhuman on a dirt bike. The power is manageable. It makes sense. Number three, for me, the bike literally reduces nervous system overload when you're riding a motorcycle. No need to wear earplugs. You're able to focus on what's in front of you more. You're focused more on your legs gripping. There's less intensity overall with the motorcycle, and I think that's a huge plus. Is there a fun factor with 2-strokes and 4-strokes that you can have that you can't have with this? Of course there is. But overall, as a well-rounded machine, this thing is insane. And I would highly recommend this bike to literally anybody. No affiliations with Stark, no affiliations with Hanson Motorsports. I've been waiting to get my hands on one of these. Go buy one. That's it.